Hello kids, how are you all? Hope you are doing well. We were studying the chapter Why Do We Fall Ill? Class 9 Biology. In the last class, we have studied about the disease and their causes. Actually, we have studied about the disease only and not about their causes because that we will study today. We have studied about the symptoms and signs and type of disease like acute disease and chronic disease. In today's class, we are going to study the causes of disease. What causes disease? Right? So, if we classify, or you can say, if we consider the factor that cause disease, so we can classify into two types. One is internal factors, and another is external factors. Internal factors that are in our body. These factors are present in our body, and due to these internal factor we can have different type of disease. Like what could be those factors? So those factors can be like hormonal imbalance. Hormones are present in our body only, and that helps in proper functioning of our body. If there is an imbalance of hormone, like if during you can say pregnancy, or you can say after pregnancy, okay, if there is very less secretion, if there is very less secretion of growth hormone, if there is very less secretion of growth hormone, and that can leads to dwarfism, mean to say that a baby can be dwarf or small in size or small in height. His or her height could not be normal. And in the same way, if the growth hormone is secreted hyperactively, is hyperactive and secreted in more amount, then that can lead to gigantism also. Like the person can be like a beast, or you can say khali, you can say the person can have more than normal height and more than a normal size. He could be broad and his height could be more than normal. So this can leads to any kind of disease. And in the same way, if you can say hormones are not functioning properly, like deficiency of iodine leads to inflammation of thyroxine or thyroid hormone, which can leads to goiter, right? So these hormones imbalance can lead to different type of disease, like insulin. It can lead to diabetes, right? So these all hormones are present in our body, and as they are present in our body, they can lead to any kind of disease if they are not functioning properly. This could be an internal factor. Next, allergic reaction. Allergic reaction, like you might have seen some people, like when we bring flower to near them, nearby them, they start sneezing, or their skin becomes red from somewhere or something. It's not just about the flower, it could be anything the person might be infected to, or he's having allergic reaction with. So that allergic reaction is a person specific. Only that person have that specific allergy to some kind of flower, or some kind of anything, or any some kind of word, some kind of fragrance or something. But do we all have that problem with the same flower, or same kind of smell or something? No, we don't. Actually, there is an inbuilt mechanism in that person that is allergic to the particular thing, like flowers pollen grain, that the person is allergic to flowers pollen grain, so he started sneezing whenever he comes in contact with that pollen grains or comes in contact with that flower. So that could be also the reason. Next is genetic disorder. What could be the genetic disorder? If we are talking about the genetic disorder, so genetic disorder, like you can say, you can have disease like genetic disorder, you can say sickle cell anemia, right? It's a genetic disorder disease. Next, you can have the disease hemophilia. Hemophilia is a royal disease, hemophilia B actually, that is running in Queen Victoria or Queen Elizabeth, you can say generation. Their generation is suffering from hemophilia. Hemophilia is a disease which is carried by the women and is transferred to the male. And if the person is having any kind of cut, the bleeding do not stop, and that could be that severe that a person could be die. So that is a disease which is transferred from generation to generation. So genetic disorder can be transferred from one generation to another generation. So they could be also the internal factor, right? Next, malfunctioning of body organ. If your any organ or any body part is not functioning, like your kidney stop functioning, so one kidney is failed, right? Your heart is not functioning, heart failure, right? So that could be also be an internal factor of a disease. Not all factors are external. It is occurring inside our body, and it is due to some internal factor or internal malfunctioning or not functioning of the body organ properly. So these could be the internal factor which could be the responsible for any kind of disease. Next, we are talking about external factor. What could be the external factor that can cause disease? Think about it. Yes, first is unhealthy diet. Whatever we eat, our body represented. Like if we are not eating proper food, if we are eating junk food, if we are taking too much of fat, we will become obese, and that can lead to blood pressure, that can lead to diabetes. If we are eating too much of sugar, that can also lead to diabetes or something. So if your diet is not healthy, obviously you are going to infect it. Obviously you are going to have a disease, not now but in future. So you should always have a healthy lifestyle. Next, obviously, the reason is disease causing germs, that are also external factor. External factor, the factor which we are getting from environment. Disease causing germs like bacteria, fungus, protozoa, virus. Bacteria like Salmonella typhi. It is the bacteria which causes typhoid. Virus, HIV virus causes AIDS, right? Dengue virus causes dengue, and many more. Fungus, fungus causes ringworm or some kind of allergy in the body. Protozoa like Plasmodium causes malaria. So these are disease causing germs or pathogen which causes disease. These are also present in external environment, so these are under external environment only. Okay, next we are talking about pollution in the environment. If the environment is polluted, like there is a lot of pollution in Delhi, so people living in the Delhi area are suffering from breathing problems or lung disease like asthma, bronchitis, etc. etc. They are infected to breathing problem and more infected to lung disease because their environment is polluted. In the same way, if drinking water is polluted, the person is you can say suffering from might suffer from any kind of disease like typhoid or something because it is caused by polluted water or food only. So here pollution is also the factor. Next, unhealthy lifestyle. What is unhealthy lifestyle? If we are not living in a healthy lifestyle, not living a healthy lifestyle, and we are using a unhealthy lifestyle like drinking, smoking, excessive drinking can cause liver failure or kidney failure. Excessive smoking can cause lung cancer. Tobacco can cause mouth cancer. So if our lifestyle is not healthy, so obviously we are going to have disease one or another. So these could be also the causes, right? Rest we will study in the next class. Okay, fine.